came up with this beautiful set that I absolutely love right now, especially since we're having Formula One going on. Alpine Formula One team racing comes with the livery for both drivers, for Pierre Gasly and Franco Colapinto. As you can see, they both have different livery. You could choose between one or the other driver. Here in the box, you could see that this is a 14 plus set. It is 1/8 scale Alpine, and it's the A525 set. So it's from 2025, and obviously the piece count is 2173. You could see the box. The box is actually quite nice. You could see that it's actually hard plastic. So premium level feel all the way through it. Now this is going to be a very long video, so I'm going to include in the bottom obviously timestamp for videos, because we're going to go over the full box, the unboxing, the building, and at the end will be my thoughts about the build. So as you can see here, these tires are the tires that have to be in a set. The set separates from other sets because they have different size tires, front and rear, and for me that really makes a lot of the difference. Here just showing the different kind of things. Here showing you an actual like Easter egg of a radiator hidden in the panels, and all the different functions that we'll go through later. So let's go ahead and pop this baby open. We'll see what we'll find inside this beautiful, gorgeous, well designed box. And as you can see, I haven't picked inside yet, so I don't know what to expect. So let's go ahead and do the reveal. All right, let's see what we got here. Wow, actually has inner boxes, and the tires seem to be packed in a different box altogether. Taking the boxes out from the original or from the master packaging, I realized that it actually has an Easter egg in the other side. You can see it actually has the design. So this is giving me vibes from the Bayron box, where you could as well store the boxes with different design, either front or back. Let's see how good or how nice the design looks on the tires. Yep, they also have the design as well. Let's go ahead and turn them around, place them there, and this is what you get. These little things like this that make the whole thing feels more premium. All right, let's go ahead and start opening the boxes. The boxes are labeled 1, 2, and 3. So here in the first box, you actually find the manual, which is individually packed. Let's go ahead and look at it. Let's see what we have here. So we have one big manual instead of two. And it's actually full with reading materials and pictures inside for both of the different drivers. Here's the stats for the drivers, the different cars they drive, and it also shows you, starts showing you that you can either build one or the other as well. And here starts. This build is divided into 8 parts. That wasn't something I really liked, but here you can see how you can build both libraries. Altogether, this set has about 300 and so pages, exactly 324 pages to complete the set. Now let's go over some of the actual printed pieces, because this car comes with everything printed. Here's one of the library. for Franco Colapinto, and here are other printed pieces. Everything is printed. Here's the library if you wanted to build it for a Pierre Gasly. You can also choose his number 10. When you're building something like this and it just has that level of prints, it just makes it feel premium. I don't like stickers. I really don't like stickers in sets that are big, and especially these huge Technic sets. I like stickers on little cars, Speed Champions and other, but not in this scale. Some of the pieces already come pre-built because of the printing process. They have to be together to get the best print possible. We can see all the different printed pieces. It's tons and tons of printed pieces. Going into the second box, we'll see a bunch of different bags. And all together, there are 8 stages. Unfortunately, they're not. The stages include a lot of bags. If you divide 2,173 pieces, that means that at every stage you have to have around 280 or so pieces out at the same time. So looking for pieces, I can already see how that's gonna be something very fun. Now they even individually packed the tires. I think that was a little bit excessive, but the plate and a bunch of other parts and everything is packed very well. The halo is packed individually. So 1 part per bag. It's a little bit excessive, but look at that. It is, I don't know. I really like some parts not to be bricks, just to be special. Really ups the displayability of the set. And like I said, keep in mind I have the timestamp. Now we're gonna move into the building. I created a little montage, I will say, or speed build of the set, of building it. You can go ahead and skip it if that's not something you would like to see. You can see the timestamps below. Let's get to building. All right, and as I like to say, here it is. This is the final completed model right here, the CaDA Alpine F1 1/8 scale set. And you can tell this is a gorgeous display piece. Look at the halo, all the printed parts. We come from with the library for both drivers, either Franco Colapinto or Pierre Gasly. I went with the Franco Colapinto library. As you can see, if you know Formula One, it is the number 43, and it's got the yellow radio tower here. All right, just give you a quick overlook of the beautiful design this car incorporates. As you can see, it has a whole aerodynamic channels through here underneath the actual body of the set. So that's actually a pretty nice distinction, that it's just not pieces all around, but it actually flows the line. You can also see in the bottom how it has full diffusers and actually floor pan design. This and no other set has that I know of to this detail. The rear tires are wider, the front tires are like this, the correct stance, which for some reason other sets do not do it, which is the most important part, which is the reason why you pick this set over the other set, mainly. And all right, look at details. You can see the rear suspension arms, the diffusers, the lights, everything. It does have working DRS through a lever inside the cockpit. That's pretty cool, especially this car being a 2025 model. That was really a thing. The halo is printed and it's on specialty pieces. I don't care, I like it. I think this is better than like what other sets do. Everything is printed. Look at the suspension arm pieces, how beautiful they are. So display ability of this vehicle, it's basically 10 out of 10. It also comes with their signature plate that I see Lego's new car actually started doing. So I thought that was pretty cool. But this idea, it is very CaDA, honest from the last sense I seen it. And let me also tell you a couple of different things. Let me show you the functions really quick. Here's the steering, hand of God steering, and also you can control it through the steering wheel in the cockpit. I just want to let you know that the steering wheel, it is an actual steering wheel. I don't know if you can see there, printed, not just any random wheel. It's an actual Formula One set, and it has the Alpine, actually the BWT logos and stuff. So the level of detail, it's to the final detail. You also have the front suspension and the rear suspension as well. I do want to notate that the suspension, it is really hard, and I believe the suspension arms are doing most of the bouncing, but it's okay. Somehow it works. The stance on this car is really low, how it really should be, so the suspension travel is not as much, but it is what you need it to be for it to look the right way. If not, it would look like an off-road vehicle, and we know that is not the case. We also have another functionality, which is a engine connected to the differential and to the rear drivetrain. You can access it by moving this cap. So this doesn't have any kind of connection. This is just pressure connected through these things right here, which kind of works because it's nice to take off and put back on. It kind of works, but if you were going to display this car up in a wall, it might create an issue, so you might have to find a solution for that. Should be very easy. I just haven't really looked into it. It also comes with this section right here. This one does have a clip right here inside the seat that connects. So this one actually you do have to click it in. But this includes all the hand of God mechanism. But look at that detail. Look at that detail. This little piece has really, it's like a real complex build. Just look at this piece. So, and this car coming with 2,173 pieces, it is very like a lot of details go into everything. There's nothing empty spaces or anything of like that so much. Here you can see the engine and the drivetrain. I do wish the engine included the pistons, the bigger ones, you know, those gray or transparent ones, but the actual Technic ones, I would have liked that. But I think this one works, and I think the scale, it actually fits better. So I don't know, kind of conflicted in that. Some reason I do like the the engine, building it with pistons and everything, but this kind of works. So you could see also through here some of the mechanisms. So one of them is the handle function. I mean, no, the DRS function. It has a lever attached with a mechanism that makes open and close. You could also see here the suspension. And to put it back together is fairly simple. You just gotta align this one with the bottom of the seat, and it fits really good and strong. This, I kind of wish you had the same system. At least one clip, you would have just solved everything. But this one just clips, and you would just use pressure, and it lands all in place. Building this set, the rear suspension gave me a lot of trouble. Probably I spent, I'm gonna say, easily 30 to 40% of the time building the whole car. I spent it in the rear suspension. Actually, I spent it a lot also in the front suspension, but that was a mistake on my part. The instructions were very clear in that end, and I did a mistake, so that I own up to it. But the rear suspension, the instructions really did not describe how to do it properly, and it's very complex. Not that they were wrong, it's just that they were not detailed enough for you to understand. Maybe other people will do, but me, with my, I believe I'm pretty good at building these sets, had to go back and forth until I got it right. So I think the instruction could be clearer in that side, but everything else flew very, very easily and very good. No stickers, everything printed, right sides, the suspension, the right height, everything an actual 1/8 scale instead of like other sets that are more closer to 1/9 scale. This is for me the best F1 set that there's out there right now, a brick building. Now, is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. I don't think it's perfect. It does have a couple of things that I would like to be replaced or fixed, or just live with them as long as they're not that big. First, what I already talked about is that this, if you put any kind of wall mount, this will always be an issue. So if you lift it up like this, you can already see kind of like it already kind of separating from where it goes. So it might not really fall. I mean, I'm kind of holding it, it might fall, but any tap or anything, it will make it fall. It's not really the best way if you're gonna wall mount it like that. If you're gonna just mount it on a shelf or even in the wall through like with an angle, then I think it will be fine. A other situation that I don't like, it is the front nose. All these clips right here, they're not connected to anything, they're just kind of pressure mounted, and they're held here by two pieces that, as you can see, just by that, there's already kind of stepping out. So there's these pieces, the clutch power is not enough to hold this and hold this part in place without constantly having to touch it and readjust it every time I'm kind of handling the car. But I mean, little details. Also, the suspension is the instructions, like I mentioned, could be fixed a little bit for the rear suspension, but also I do notice that the shocks don't really move that much. I think the suspension arms are doing more of the suspension by itself, but it is okay. It actually works. The suspension, you get the bounce back and everything. Just if you're looking at the internals, you don't see this. You see the suspension working without the springs going in and out. That would be my only kind of complaint, that I would say that hopefully it could be fixed. But besides that, I will give this set a 9.5 out of 10. It is a great set. I'm going to review it. If it's a 5-star review, it's still going to be a 5-star. Not enough to go into a 4-star, but it's ultimately not a 10. It is a 9.5. Got those little details, especially the instructions, but everything else, I'm very happy with CaDA for what they have come up with. And I think that any Technic fan, anybody that loves building this kind of sets, and especially if you're a Formula One set, like a Formula One fan, this set is 100% recommended. So get on building.